So last night I went out with a professional pickup artist, a dating coach, out in Dubai, right? We went to this nightclub, I forgot the name, it was like one of these rooftop things. It weren't that busy to be honest, but he's always on it with the cold approaches. I've got to rate this guy, shout out my boy Limo. Just met him this weekend at a networking event, and he was always getting straight on it. I mean, within the first hour of us being together, it was just approaching girls on the street, going off with them and getting digits, always at it, at every opportunity. So we've gone into this bar and he's scanning the room and looking for girls, and we're with these other guys from Estonia. And these guys spotted these two, they look to be Chinese girls, right? Super classy type, like just very well presented, like you could tell they looked after themselves and they had high standards, right? Usually for me, I start making a few excuses at that point, right? If they look too classy, I'm a bit reluctant to approach and I start making excuses. But this Limo, this is his main thing, and this is why he's so on job. Because regardless of what they look like, regardless of these excuses you make, he goes and approaches. So he went and approached these two girls, right? He said, yeah, I'll go approach and I'll call you over. Went over, started chatting, gone for about 5 minutes, and he came back and said, you know, I'll introduce you to my friend. So then I've gone over, gone to the table, oh, hello girls, how are you? You know, asking where they're from and stuff like this. And they both said they're from Kazakhstan. And if someone tells you from Kazakhstan, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Borat. That's exactly what I said. And you should have seen the faces. Apparently people from Kazakhstan don't like Borat. Anyway, we ended up saving it, chatting for ages. One of them, I was talking to, didn't even speak English. We were talking on Google Translate, pretty funny, laughing all night. We spent, you know, went out with him, whatever. Anyway, the point of this story is, I was more concerned with how I felt about approaching. I was making excuses, I was not really putting my foot down. And Limo didn't. Now, when it comes to business or self-development, I do not think about how I feel and I just act on it. And what you'll find is in every single one of these fields, nobody gives a fuck about your feelings, yeah? The people who get the results are the people who actually put the foot down and do it. And that is exactly what I found out, and that's what I found to be true. Look, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs this weekend, yeah? I've had a few business problems in the past year and I've been going over with some super successful guys that are way more successful than me, asking them and speaking to them, and I was telling them about certain problems and issues I was dealing with. And, you know, their attitude towards that, it wasn't like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. And every time I told them about a problem, the first thing they'd say is, well, what are you doing to fix it? What's the plan? Meaning, they didn't give a fuck about my problems. They only cared about the plan to solve the problems. And what I found was that it was the same with every single person that I've met this week. Because the truth is, the issues that you're dealing with, nobody gives a shit. And you can get upset, you can start crying, you can look for sympathy, you can reach out for sympathy, you can want other people to fix them for you, but at the end of the day, no matter how bad they are, whether it's you that caused them or something external, it's your problem and you've got to fix it, nobody else's. And when you start thinking like that, it puts you back into a control state, and that's when you can actually deal with problems.